We didn't like Joe Biden. We didn't like Barack Obama. But if an outside force were to come in here and try and topple them while they were the president, I would 100% rally around the flag.
Exactly. And that's precisely what happened.
That's just common sense. So if we wanted to strengthen
you actually
the Ayatollah,
did.
right.
You joined the military under Bill Clinton,
Under
whom
Clinton.
I assume you didn't vote for.
Right.
Right. You joined in 1998. You've gone the whole cycle of the war on terror, I notice, and served out as an NCO. I think your entire
NCO and warrant officer.
Yeah, warrant officer, 20 years. And I should just say, I hate ever to refer to a man's resume as like a data point because your ideas exist separately. But in this specific case, meaning you spend most of your time fighting Iranian proxies.
Yeah, a good deal of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're aware of the threat from Iran. You have personally used violence against that threat.
I have.
Yeah. A lot of it, I think. And you supported the president's policy up until fairly recently.
Right.
And you've said that a lot in public, in fact.
Yeah, mods, everybody that is trolling on the audio, kick them out. We want them out of here, bro.
You went to work for him. He hired you.
Yeah.
Right. But here's from what I can.
Get these niggas out of here, bro. They hurt the quality of the show every single time when they fucking do that shit, bro. I fucking hate audio trolls. They come in here and they think shit's funny. That's why you got to kick them out forever. Forever banished.
Can tell is the central question.
Like this guy right here, Lund Eater. You're about to be Shadow Realm Eater now, bro. Enjoy the Shadow Realm. Ban the fuck out of here, bro. Send all these niggas to Shadow Realm, bro.
Time to send you to the Shadow Realm. The future is mine.
Imminent threat. Now, the president has said many times to many people, including the public, Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. I'm sure he must have said that to you. You don't have to say it. But he said it to everybody. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. They can't have a nuke. Whenever asked, we say, let's just start here. They can't have a nuke. Okay, got it. Everyone agreed with that conceptually?
We're going to talk about that because Tulsi Gabbard gets grilled on this about the nuclear weapon. And she admits that we destroyed their nuclear capabilities. So why the hell did we invade them? Or sorry, why the hell did we bomb them?
Was Iran on the verge of getting a nuclear weapon?
No, they weren't, 3 weeks ago when this started, and they weren't in June either. I mean, the Iranians have had a religious ruling, a fatwa, against actually developing a nuclear weapon since 2004. That's been in place since 2004. That's available in the public sphere. But then also we had no intelligence to indicate that fatwa was being disobeyed or it was on the cusp of being lifted. The Iranian strategy, it's actually pretty pragmatic. The Iranians are obviously aware of what's taking place in their
Big Boss, thank you, Omama. Appreciate you. Southside Welder, appreciate you. Roland Canto, thank you so much on Kick.
region. And their strategy was to not completely abandon their nuclear program because they saw what happened to Muammar Gaddafi in Libya when
They saw what happened to Saddam Hussein too. Because Muammar Gaddafi gave up his nuclear program, and what did they do? They killed him anyway. One thing that's very apparent in the Middle East is they know that they cannot trust the Middle East, unfortunately.
said, hey, I've got no more nukes. I'll do what you say. I'll give up my nukes.
And we gave him the Nobel Peace Prize?
Yeah, we regime changed him, and he was executed by his own people in the most horrific way.
Sodomized.
And also what happened there too. Now Libya is a shithole. It was a once thriving country with no debt. Now it's a shithole.
By a bayonet, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's that's the lesson I think that the entire region took from that when Hillary Clinton.
Unfortunately, that is what the neocon, neoliberal warmongers. That's the lesson that they showed everyone in the region. And then conversely, the Iranians also knew that if they came out and said, "Okay, we've got a nuke," whether they were bluffing or not, Saddam Hussein, Iraq right next door. So they kind of had this.
Hung.
And just so you guys know, they never had a nuke. FYI, they never had a nuke. Okay. That has been Israeli propaganda for years.
I think
he was hung by his own people, after a bloody, war that's still essentially going on inside of Iraq. So the Iranians' position, when viewed from the lens of the region, was actually fairly pragmatic. They were preventing, themselves from developing a bomb, but they still wanted the ability. They wanted the ability to enrich. They wanted the ability to have some components so that they weren't completely stripped of it. And when we
See, I love that Joe Kent is actually being honest here. Yes, the strategy, guys, was being what's called a nuclear threshold state, okay? A nuclear threshold state allows you the ability to basically say, look, we want to comply. You need to lift the sanctions. If you're not, we're going to enrich at a higher level. The enrichment at 60%, et cetera, was always a negotiating chip. to get the sanctions relieved. Okay, guys? It's that simple. I know a lot of neocons don't like hearing this. I know a lot of fucking Israelis don't like hearing this. I know a lot of Zionists don't like hearing this, but it's the fucking truth. It was always about maintaining a nuclear program for energy, of course, but also as a deterrent where, look, we can make a bomb, but we're choosing not to. We want to negotiate. That's what it was. That's what it was. And can you honestly blame them? We destroyed Syria. We destroyed Lebanon. We destroyed Sudan. We destroyed Iraq, Libya. Like we destroyed the entire Middle East. Everyone in the Middle East either got destroyed by the United States and Israel or got cucked by the United States and Israel. So if you want to go ahead and be able to have some type of autonomy, some sovereignty, what are you going to do? How are you going to keep these bullies from attacking you? A nuclear bomb. Look at Kim Jong-un. Gets a nuclear bomb. What does Trump do? Goes and visits him in fucking North Korea. That's the truth, chat. And to be honest with you, if the Iranians had a nuclear bomb, the Israelis wouldn't be attacking them the way that they do right now.
We always assessed that they were either several months or a year, 2 years away from actually being able to develop a nuclear weapon. And that's not because the Iranians are stupid people. I think we can tell.
They have very high IQ. And the fact that they've been able to build some of the weapons that they've built while being sanctioned is actually very impressive. One of the most sanctioned countries in the world. Number 2 most sanctioned country in the world, chat. Behind Russia. At one time, they were probably number 1 prior to the Russia-Ukraine war.
Right now that
or North Korea, but they've always been in the top 2 to 3.
The Iranians are anything but stupid. They had the ability, I think, that the brain power to actually develop one, or they could have simply traded a ton of oil with.
Yeah, some idiot comes in here. Tony 10 says, come on, man, we're jihadists. You can't be serious. See, bro, this is why I can't talk to these niggas, bro. Yo, some of you guys are so fucking stupid that you guys don't even respect the capabilities of your enemies, bro. Like, you guys are so fucking dumb. Tell me you're a retarded Zionist and I'll tell me you're a retarded Zionist, bro. Holy shit, man. People are so stupid. Like, I hate stupid people, bro. I hate stupid people. Like, if someone tells you the military capability of your enemies or talks complex geopolitical complex geopolitical discourse with you and explains why countries do the shit that they do, right? Or why they engage in certain things that they do, and your response is jihadi, terrorist sympathizer, like, you're just an idiot, dude. You're just a fucking retard. As we sit here with $5 to $6 fucking gallons of oil. Like, you're stupid. You're fucking stupid. You watch Fox News, you're a fucking retard, you're 50 IQ, and quite frankly, you deserve to get roasted. You're stupid, bro. There's not much else I could say.
Pakistan or with someone else.
I hate retarded motherfuckers, bro. And it's amazing to me how stupid people are when it comes to foreign policy. Holy shit, people are dumb.
To actually get a nuclear weapon. They were not doing that. We had no intelligence to indicate that they were.
Then why was the president?
There's the number 2 guy in the intelligence community saying that there was no intelligence that they were. Did you hear that, dummy? Huh? All you retarded niggas in the chat saying jihadi, some other bullshit.
To actually get a nuclear weapon, but stupid. They had the ability, I think, that the brain power to actually develop one, or they could have simply traded a ton of oil with Pakistan or with someone else to actually get a nuclear weapon. They were not doing that. We had no intelligence to indicate that they were.
All the retarded Zionists, all the stupid, neocons, aka the warmongers, shut the fuck up forever. Shut the fuck up forever. This is the number 2 guy from the intelligence community telling you, because he just resigned yesterday, that there was no intelligence that they were doing that. Stupid fucks in my chat don't know nothing. You got the number 2 guy in the intel community telling you, what are you going to say now? You're smarter than Joe Kent? You know more than Joe Kent? You have a TSSCI? You got a White House clearance? Retard? Shut the fuck up. Hey, stupid people, bro.
Then why was the president, was he told that they were on the brink?
Hey, this retard in the chat, D Fresh says, where can I watch this video without this guy stopping every 15 seconds? The Shadow Realm. Enjoy. That's where you can watch it.
Time to send you to the Shadow Realm. The future is mine.
That's where you can watch it.
Look at it. Why at the beginning of every conversation about Iran would the president say, I don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon? Why was that the central question when, and you would know since you were the director of the National Counterterrorism Center, why would he say that if there was no intelligence or evidence that they were actually developing a nuke?
So, I mean, a couple things.
PBD said Joe Kent will lie. Guys, PBD is a diaspora Iranian who is pro-Shah. He is a hardcore Zionist, or he is a Zionist. He is pro-Israel. So I hate to say it, but you can't take anything that PBD says seriously when it comes to geopolitical affairs, because Patrick is terrified of criticizing the Jewish lobby, Israel, or Zionism, because he understands that for his business to make a bunch of money, because he does a lot of consulting, he cannot be critical of Israel. So you can't rely on his, I hate to say it, you can't rely on his geopolitical analysis in the Middle East. It's extremely skewed. Extremely skewed. All right? It's extremely skewed and biased because he's pro-Israel. All right? And he runs a consulting business on top of the podcast, and a lot of his clients that he consults with are Jews. So what do you think? Okay?
This is what I talk about in the letter about this ecosystem of information that's laundered through a lot of prominent neoconservative types that are very
Translation?
sympathetic to the Israeli cause, and then also Israeli government officials who give us things in semi-official channels. What they did was they created basically a shifting red line or a new red line. So that if the president's red line was Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, we've actually got a lot of trade space in there for a deal to be made because of what I just described with the Iranian policy. Essentially, the Iranians saying, okay, well, we don't want a nuclear weapon. Well, that means we basically are at a point where we can start negotiating and we can come up with a deal. And the president is a fantastic deal maker. So if your goal is to move.
But the problem was never, let's be clear about this. The problem was never about removing their nuclear capabilities. It was about destroying the regime. Because if it was about negotiations, they already had that with the JCPOA. And the Iranians, despite what Israelis will tell you, the Iranians were complying with the JCPOA 100%. How do we know this? Because several other countries were involved in the process. You can hate Obama all you want. You can hate John Kerry as much as you want. You can hate the entire Joe Biden, whatever. The bottom line is this. The JCPOA was absolutely the best document when it came to the oversight, control, and, most importantly, anti-nuclear proliferation for Iran. Okay? It truly was. They only started to aggressively enrich once Trump stupidly pulled out of the nuclear deal.
Move us away from any kind of deal, and your goal is to move us into a conflict, you have to shift that red line. And that's where a lot of this, I would say, what became a de facto U.S. policy of Iran can have no nuclear enrichment. It was laundered through a lot of the different talking heads, Mark Levin, Mark Dubowitz. You've got the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies.
You guys want to know who runs all these organizations? I think we know.
You name it. Washington, D.C. has plenty of pro-Israeli lobbyists who will come.
And just so you guys know, also, all these Republican fucking think tanks, they're run by Jews, bro. We just got to call a spade, man. Okay? The people that write these fucking defense policy papers, like the Clean Break memo or the Project for a New American Century, all written by Jews. Dual allegiance, Zionist Jews.
And say those things, who will publish think pieces on it, who will go on the media, who will run, op-eds in the Wall Street Journal to talk about this, why they can't have any enrichment whatsoever. And then we have a high degree of engagement with.
And they say no enrichment, right? They say no enrichment. And then they move the goalpost. Okay? Because if it was just about the making sure that we have, they don't have a nuclear bomb, they could have had that. Shout out to you, Shamat the Barbarian.
Israeli government officials who will come in and say, well, they're enriching and they could enrich or they could enrich more, and that will get them closer to a nuclear weapon. So then enrichment basically became the new U.S. policy. And the only official I've heard, and folks are welcome to look for this, that said this in the first Trump administration was Mike Pompeo. He said it. The president didn't say it. The president has been.
Yep, Mike. And why? Because Mike Pompeo has a battery in his back from the Jewish lobby. That is why. He was one of the biggest pushers to end the nuclear deal and put the IRGC on the watch list. Guys, I did not watch this interview. This interview was live. I'm fucking just, I told you guys all this shit already.
Been very consistent. He said.
Joe Kent, the number 2 intel guy, is confirming everything I've already told y'all niggas. I don't want to say I'm on point, but I'm on fucking point. I fucking told y'all. I hate to say that, but hey, I am vindicated yet again.
They can't have a nuclear weapon. But again, like I said, that puts us at a place where we actually could have.
Did I not do a whole fucking breakdown yesterday on what got us into this war? I broke all of this down 24 hours ago for you guys. It's going to come out in a clip where I went from 2018, how Trump engaged in the Abraham Accords. He recognized Jerusalem. He moved the embassy, etc. The recognition of the Golan Heights, the Temple Institute being built, which would destroy the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and then Joe Biden negotiating with the Saudis to be brought into the Abraham Accords. All of this led to October 7th. Allahu Akbar! All of that led to October 7th. I said all this shit yesterday, bro. This interview is live right now. Okay? This interview is live right fucking now. I told you guys all this for yesterday, for weeks, for months. I told you guys I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Me and my brother have been predicting all this shit. And the number 2 guy under Tulsi fucking Gabbard is telling you guys what I've been telling y'all. What everyone else is too scared to say in right-wing media because it's owned by fucking Jews, okay? Literally said all of this in excruciating detail. And I love the fact that Joe Kent, an American patriot, by the way, who saw all the classified shit, that knows exactly what our strengths and our weaknesses are, knows America's secrets versus their secrets. He's coming to the same fucking conclusion I gave you guys yesterday. I don't want anybody in fucking chat ever talking shit to me again when it comes to Middle Eastern foreign policy. Shut the fuck up forever.